Yes, good evening, this wonderful day of April. Welcome once again to my channel. I just want to also put my voice across as somebody who has practiced and been in the theater scene in this country for quite some time, about especially what has happened today in regards to the Kenyan National Drama Festival, which is being held in Nakuru, and where a play by the name of Echoes of War, written by former Senator and former UDA Secretary General Mheshimiwa Cleophas Malala. For the viewers who are watching and they are not quite familiar with the Kenya setup in terms of theater, we have the largest theater festival in Africa that happens annually in the country, that involves all the students who are going to secondary part of their education, and even sometimes in the primary section. The festival has been there since pre-independence, founded by the colonial authorities who are in charge of education. And it has been running every other year. It is one of the fabric and a very huge feed to the common theater practice in this country, as well as the film industry in this country. Most of the prolific actors that we see on TV and on stage from the origin of country of Kenya have, in one way or the other, passed through the Kenya National Drama Festival. So this year, 2025, it was happening in Nakuru County, and what has raised a lot of eyebrows in the recent days was a play called Echoes of War. Well, to begin with, the scriptwriter is a very popular figure in this country, but most people in the public identify him as a politician because he has held the position of a senator of the Kakamega County, as well as the Secretary General of a political party known as the United Democratic Alliance, which he was the Secretary General, and which is currently the party that has the ruling powers, under which President Dr. William Ruto ascended power with. What most people might not be aware of is the person of Cleophas Malala got into limelight by theater. He has been writing plays and directing plays since his high school days, and after he finished high school, he's been trying his hand into putting a lot of plays into the national competition stage of the Kenya National Drama Festival. So it's not the first time that a Malala script has seen national limelight, either by controversy or by merit or by whatever angle that people want to look at. I think you might want to look at Shackles of Doom, which I think was done 12 years ago. It had the same hit that Echoes of War is having currently. And even there was an extent of the same scenario of banning the play from being performed to the public national secondary schools. Now, my voice, I want to say, and I want first of all to quote one gentleman in theater known as Caesar Cruz, who says, art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. Theater, in its role as a mirror of the society, should not be normal. It should reflect as painfully as possible of any current situation. And I am 100% sure that in the National Drama Festival, because the festivals follow the trends of times, what is currently at the lips of everyone, whether it's social, whether it's economical, whether it's political, or whether it's global, those themes run up into most of the performances done on stage. So those are underlying themes and they are always there. Maybe this play written by Senator Malala has drawn a lot of light because of his hitherto background in politics. But I'm so sure if people went and delved into what was being presented, there are equally a good number of political pieces, of social pieces that are questioning whatever is happening at the moment, whether it is right or whether it is wrong, but as a reflection of who we are. That's what culture and theater majorly does. It seeks to it seeks to point out those questions and it seeks to say they're putting the questions across, they don't expect answers. If I may quote what Anton Chekhov Pavlovich said, he said, the role of artist is to ask questions, not to answer them. What Malala's play, if we look at it from another angle, especially limelight that it has gotten, it will be a very good variance to point out a few things. Theater, as a creative expression, should be let to be. I think people are becoming either uncomfortable or comfortable by the messaging of any play that have been shot into limelight, and more rightly so, because that's what art and that's what theater does to people. People in the country at the moment are split into two factions, or maybe three. The third one is the unknown. But one faction says, let the play continue, let freedom of speech happen, let creative expression be, let the poetic license happen. And the other side says, you are squeezing the toes of somebody, you're making the government uncomfortable, you're making the ruling elite uncomfortable, your message has crossed boundaries. Everybody has their entitled opinion. I want to say, and I will be very categorical with this, is that um, anyone who's commenting, especially about the play, I would wish they comment it from a point of information and a point of also participation. Have you participated in the National Drama Festival? Do you understand the dynamics? If the answer is yes, then I think we're on the same page. I've seen even quite a number of political honchos have aligned themselves with Senator Malala. It's very unfortunate because the same characters of politicians, we have never seen them attending any play in this country, or watching theater, or participating in creative economy in this country. So right now, their voice are muffled as political voice. And that's very dangerous, even for the script, for the girls, and for the nation, and for the theater being in this country. The last time we got such politicization, theater almost died. 1977, when Ngugi wa Thiong'o was doing Kahika Tenda, and he involved the Kamerudhu people, and the education hall 2 of University of Nairobi was filled to capacity during rehearsals. and the play was overwhelmingly attended by rehearsals. And it scared the government because the political angle twitched. We want our plays to ask the questions, but not to give the answers. We want them to reflect what is currently happening. And everybody who's watching them or having an opinion about them should also look inside them and say, does it really reflect what is currently happening? Has it made me comfortable or uncomfortable, as Caesar Cruz put it across in his theater quote? Art should let be should let to be art. The young minds at Butere Girls and over so many of them are participating in the National Drama Festival should be given that poetic license. I remember sometime, I think it was in 1996, when I was doing a play written by the late Mutegi Njau. And on the night of opening the play, the police came and arrested most of us and took us to Central Police. There was a lot of questioning. And when we were released, I don't think in our element we felt like, do I really have to do this play if I'm making the state angry? I was young, I was naive. Therefore, I got scared. The Butere girls are very young and they are very naive. If they are passing a message and it touches so many people and it ruffles feathers, the element of making it a grand national political statement should not come into play. Rather, that play should form a basis of some questions that require national conversation beyond the play, with all actors sitting down and trying to say, what is it that the play is reflecting? What is it that we need to learn from the play or see from the play? As opposed to looking like there is something called muzzling. And I also want to come to rescue of government because the play is at the national stage. For those who are watching and they are not familiar, the National Drama Festival starts from grassroots level. So which means there are so many stages that any of production or creative expression passes through before it is qualified to at least the national scale. Because there are so many schools in this country that if each one of them was to do a piece of creative expression, then the drama festival might even last a whole year. So there must be filtering. That filtering starts from grassroots and it advances up to the level of the national. After the national and the winners are declared, then now they all congregate and go do a state performance for the head of state and his dignitaries of the state. Very commendable move, very commendable action. It makes them so motivated. So what I'm saying is, if the play managed to go through all those cauldrons until the national stage level, it means government is tolerant. Government is not putting a muzzle to creative freedom or creative expression. And what I'm saying, the play Echoes of War, as much as it is a creative freedom, the writer is a public figure. And therefore, the people who are comfortable will shout on top of the mountain. The people who are uncomfortable will also do the same. And hence, a huge conflict. It is unfortunate that there was so much force that was used to put things in order. There was no requirement for tear gas. There was no need for the gates to be closed when it's a public event. I would rather you put security measures but not close the gates. When you close the gates, it is almost tantamount to muzzling. It is also almost tantamount to say you are censoring. And woe been unto us if whatever happens on that stage, like what happened when the girls went and they didn't perform. So from what I'm hearing, they went on stage, they didn't perform. It was because the atmosphere was very, very, very. What's the word? It was very. Uh, um, it was very scary for them, for the young guys. They had to perform at 6 a.m. There's no audience. A few privileges that they would have gotten, like props and so on and so forth. They could not put questions to that and so on and so forth. That to them felt like a creative muzzling. And the fact that there was a lot of media there nationally, and that happened, it is very unfortunate that it was construed to mean that that creative freedom is being suppressed. And if the girls went on stage and they did not perform and they left, the way they left in a half without even doing anything, it would mean the blame now goes to whoever had the iron hand. And who was that? That was the police presence, which was either in the hall or at the entrance, barring journalists, barring members of public from going to watch the play. It is quite unfortunate, but I think things would have been done better. As thespians, we are very happy for the limelight. We are hopeful that whatever comes from this limelight, from the drama festival, will now put a national conversation and encourage leaders to be active when it comes to creative expression. Because we all do it at the secondary school level and sometimes at the university level. Then after that, it is gone, done, and dusted. It was something to pass time. How about that same scenario continues even after the festivals have happened? So that even people who are continuing with their creative expression have got these agendas that are either national and properly put so. I would like to end it there and hope that Echoes of War, the play, will be staged. And somebody reaches out a hand to both the Butere girls, drama girls, and the other school who witnessed and saw everything, that somebody reaches out a hand of comfort to them and assurance that that is not how we would have wanted things to turn out. That is not how we want things to be. And please, leaders, everybody in the nation, go into the auditoriums, watch the plays, participate, support the arts, support the creative expression, not because it's politically right or socially right or economically right, but because it is the only mirror that is true about the society that we live in. Thank you. Please subscribe, follow, share, put your comments below, and let's continue the conversation. Thank you.